Here I'm going to talk a little bit more about the selection tools, and let me draw a rectangle. I'm holding down the shift key to make a perfect square, and then maybe we'll go over here and we have the polygon tool set to triangles. So let me make a triangle. And then of course we had the star tool set to a 10-pointed star. Now, Illustrator has several ways to select these. Here in the Layers panel, we have a selection dot right here, and it tells you what you have selected. And you can also, with the selection circle, select any of these three shapes. Another way to select is here you have a black arrow, and if you can see your shape, you can click on that shape with the black arrow and you can move it. So the black arrow selects the entire shape. So we can select this entire shape and move it. We can select the entire shape here. If we go to the corner, we just click on it once, it gets selected, and let me hover around the corner. You can see the tool, the cursor changes shape. And if we press and hold the mouse down, now we can rotate. The same with any of these shapes. We can click on it, hover around a corner, and then we can rotate that. The other kind of a neat thing you can do is if you press and hold the mouse down, you can scale it. You can scale it up or you can scale it down. You can even invert it this way. Now you can see that we can distort it. We can make it wider than it was or taller than it was. If keeping proportions is important to you, then you hold down the shift key. And I usually say by default, you should always hold down the shift key. So we can go over here to the star, click on it. If we hold the shift key down, you can see what happens. Now without the shift key, we run the risk of distorting it, and it's very much more obvious with the star shape if we distort it. So what I'm doing here is I'm just hitting Command Z or Control Z, and I'm undoing, just like you would in Microsoft Word. All right, now another neat tool you have is this white arrow. And the white arrow selects just one point at a time. So you can see that the rectangle is made up of 1, 2, 3, 4 points. The triangle has 1, 2, 3 points. And the black arrow selects the entire triangle and moves it around. But the white arrow, you can select just one of these points and we can just move that one. It's technically called an anchor point, so we can move that one anchor point. We could do the same with the square, right? We can move that one anchor point and we can reshape that drastically. But perhaps it's much more striking or a better demonstration if we select the star here. You can see that the star has a lot of anchor points. So we can grab one of these anchor points. Let's see, click off of it and locate an anchor point. It lights up and then we can drag that. Right, we can move these anchor points around. We can also go back and highlight this with the black arrow, and then you can see that we can rotate if we want to. Another neat trick is we can take the black arrow and we can select all of these, and we can hit the backspace delete key. There it disappears. Let us make a couple of shapes. All right. If you have the black arrow and you select these two shapes, even, press the mouse down, and even if it just barely touches, then they're both selected. Now, with the white arrow, what I can do is we can also do that kind of press the mouse down and drag. And if that selects two of these points, and you can see it hasn't selected any of these other points, even though it's on two different objects, I'm going to use the arrow on the keyboard to go up, or we can press down and hold down the mouse and we can move those 2 points together, even though they're on separate objects. All right, I think that's pretty good with the selection arrows. Let's move on to the next video and another set of tools.